Oh my goodness, we got it. We got it, we got it. Make some neutronium and then give it a rest and then make some more. Over and over and over. So this is our test. And as Tony Beats says in Gold Rush, let's make it happening. Well, shoot, fellas, it looks like I double-clicked the capture recorder. I got like a 2-second clip, and that was it for a bunch of progress. So I guess I'll catch up on what we're about now. What we're about is the tokamak is making the stuff and is dangerous because every now and then you'll look over and that switch, which can start bouncing, will be bouncing and not preventing us from killing the factory. So I got this handy little display here to keep an eye on things. I moved the refrigeration around and sent it off to some hammers, which will make some neutronium plate. But we only need a measured amount of neutronium plates, so I'm not too worried about the automation of that. I mean, we need a lot, but not so much that we can't just rip it out by hand. It's not like the infinite lines. And we're super worried about running out of reflector cells, which come from sifting the thing. And so we upgraded these sifters to the purple version so that that happens more often. The odds of getting an emerald are so slim. It's like 2%. But we don't need a lot. But we probably will need more, even more than that anyway. So we did that. And then let's check and see how this is going. We do not have a backlog of thorium anymore. This box long ago was completely full before we started using it. Now we're all caught up. And you get more thorium by sifting this level of gravel. And so I noticed that this guy is idle. He's still idle. And part of it is we're not washing enough. Part of it was we weren't smashing enough. Now this line is maxed out and will be for a while, I think. If we come down here, these guys aren't doing anything. These guys aren't doing anything. This copper belt is completely maxed. We could do for some more sifters, some more washers to keep our sifters running to produce more thorium. Would be a good thing. And I looked over as I was saying, I'm kind of running out of things to do that I'm sure I need to be doing. Added another switch here, another kill switch because that logic is so terrible. That bug is so bad. Let the batteries recharge. Let the heat build up on this pipe right here. Hope this is still going good. It is. We've got enough, not a whole lot too many, but enough of the U-233. Just coming out of here. We got enough plutonium for a while, I think. Yep. We're gonna run out of reflectors, but we just upped our thorium output. So I think that this reactor situation won't fail altogether in the next few minutes. Terrific. All right, so we're gonna need a lot of things. We're gonna need all the neutronium that we can get before we're done to make a bunch of parts. We're going to need quantum brains. We're going to need the ultimate catalyst cell. We got to get those going. We're going to need more ceilings over our head to make things flying around difficult. Come on, we can get in there. Got some of those in reserve. Got some of those. We're going to need a lot of them. Quantum brain. Right. It's time to get cracking on the catalyst cells so we can start making those. So in an assembler, we're going to dump these things and pull this off the belt. Right way to do it, I guess. No, because the counts are higher. We should find a place with coke. Well, let's see what we got. Let's find a place with coke. There's some near the empty cell line, which is here. Empty cell line. Boop, boop, boop. And look, there's coke right there. Coke and empty cells. So let's, and that's not a bad place for it at all either. Let's put down, what did we say it was, an assembler or a constructor? An assembler. Do we have a good assembler? No. Do we need a good assembler? No. Assembler. You need like Hey Siri for this. Hey Siri, where's the assemblers? Type assembler. Make one. Can't. Aluminum. Perfect. So the aluminum assembler, which is tall actually, tall enough to no, it needs to be over here. It needs to be like right there. This assembler makes ultimate. This is a constructor. We don't want a constructor. We want an assembler, which we made one of. We just happen to have one constructor at hand, on hand too, to confuse me. Boy, if there's one part of this game that could be improved, it's this. Where's Waldo bullshit? There's the constructor. There's the assembler. Put it down. Quit whining. The assembler makes ultimate catalyst cell. This one. It needs two inputs that it doesn't have. One of them is right here. If we put a splitter, there's the white, that's the good. If we put a splitter and then a belt going up, and another one, like that, then all we need is a box, aluminum box, because that's what we have on hand right now. Aluminum box. Thus, with an arm, like so, going to the left, filled with empty cells. Filled with empty cells. Do those go into a box somewhere? Why would they? They're Not valuable. Well, oh, right. We already got the empty cells and the coke, and we need, what was it? Come on. Oh, neutronium parts, sure. And some power. Lovely. And out will come ultimate thingamajiggers. Ultimate catalyst cell. We need 66 of those. 66 times 8. Oh, right. Almost 500. How many do we have right now? Ready to go. 16 of those. Five of those. Our factory is dying. This is untenable. Okay, so yeah. I muffed my recording. This might be the shortest episode ever if I publish it now at 12 minutes. Sift more aluminum to make sure we don't run out of reflectors. This is just hanging on. Make more thorium dust. I don't know what I'm going to do about this. Oh, I had another thought, which was just produce more power. Simply produce more power. Although I can barely produce as much as I'm making, so I mean I can make 142 kilowatts for days. In fact, we can bump this up to put your pinky by your mouth with a control cell. No, it's just ridiculous. For where we need to be, that much increase isn't worth wiring it together. What we need to do is make sure that this is sustainable. To make sure that because this is based on the other thing. It's this one that needs to be sustainable. Are we using our best recipe here? It's a plutonium, 124, 126, I think it is. Our best recipe, 1, 2, and 6 produces 6. Look at that. Look at that. It's commensurate. If you give it double the reflectors, double that, then you get double. Or you can just use plain old uranium cells. Maybe that's what we should be doing in the tiny reactor now is, well, we don't have enough thorium. The tiny reactor, just leave it alone. It's not doing anybody any harm. It's not hurting anybody. The only reason that we'd want to go up on simple uranium cells here is to produce more depleted cells, to produce more plutonium, which isn't our problem right now. And you know, I'm sure if we press the control cells, we're going to find out that we don't have enough boron dust or something. I don't know. Or we could just let it run all night, except we can't even do that because this doesn't work. I don't know what we're going to do. So I think I'm sure I mentioned in the ether, one thought I had was to use a timer. Since something about the state of the game gets out of whack and the circuit doesn't produce what we want, we could just use a timer, couldn't we? We could say, well, it'll run good for n seconds, and then it needs to rest for just a little bit, and then it can run again. We can use a timer. But I can't quite in my mind figure out what that timer would look like. I mean, I can, but then it requires logic is almost as complex as this is that's let us down. So what I really want is just like, I don't know. I've been thinking about it. And I don't know what the answer is. I do know we're going to need more emeralds or this is going to fail at some point. We're keeping up. We can't do more than we're doing, but we're not falling too far behind on emeralds or on thorium, which were my big things. I don't know, boys. I don't know. Right, because it's been off. Well, I'm going to quit early tonight. I have been playing for quite a while, just not recording. And our clip now is more than 15 minutes. And that kind of, that time kind of tells a story, doesn't it? He played for 15 minutes and he got frustrated and rage quit. Producing more power obviously would fix things, but like I was saying, I'm kind of not maxed out, but I've built a whole bunch of stuff to get this far, and to double that, I would have to double everything, wouldn't I? So I don't know. I mean, it's not let it run overnight bad, but it's going to take quite some time, and having to manage this circuit by hand isn't much fun. Look, we can already get up to 37. We've already got 2. We're in real trouble. Oh, shoot. Well, I think I'm going to sleep on it, and we'll see if anything occurs overnight. I've had some, why are you doing it that way? It's all wrong, inspiration before. Maybe I'll get the pencil and cocktail napkin out and sketch out a proper, simple timing circuit. You put something on a belt. No, that would need a pulse. It would still need a pulse. You put something on a belt, and when it comes around every now and then, boop, you get a pulse. And that tells you that you should do something like we're doing. Check a switch. Based on the state of the switch, set another switch. No. What we really need is watch something. Do we have a inspector? What we really need, because you saw that even with a little flutter, it'll go, just so it doesn't cool off entirely. An interface. Even with a little flutter, like you might see. Inventory. Check the inventory. If there's something in front of it, then the switch should be on. Ugh, that just sounds ugly, doesn't it? And then you got a long break in the belt, in the stuff on the belt where there isn't anything, and then that lets it recharge. And then you got this tremendously long belt with arms on it, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would be it would be one thing. The what do we do now would come down to one thing, and then you just build this horrendous physical thing around it to be a timer. Cause yeah, you got two boxes and two arms, and you turn the arms on and off to fill one of the boxes or the other box. And based on when the box gets full, then you know it's time to throw the switch. But ultimately it comes back to, so you read a switch and then you throw a switch. And I mean, this has got to be the problem. You're reading a switch and you're throwing a switch. I wonder if we split this out and said, who knows, man? Who knows? All right, let me keep you in suspense just a little bit longer. Stop killing our factory, please. You can bounce all you want. You're not doing anything because the master control's off. And we are going to fix this with the magic technology of the deconstructor. So while that's happening, we got to go fix a problem that I found. Kind of dumb. This operation is not performing optimally, and it's because we are chock full of heavy oil, despite putting in a plan. And I thought for a minute this buffer was full, but it's not. No. The problem is, that heavy metal oil is not really a liquid; it's a gas. So you're not doing anything. And then, come on. What does it say? It says, read the state of things, and if oil is greater or equal to capacity, oh, come on, then switch, based on X. There, now it's going to start doing something. There. So now it's jettisoning any too much heavy oil that we have and not causing these things to stop. I was going to show you that, but I didn't. But you get the idea. So now it's all good. It's all good. We've got enough. Don't we have enough heavy oil? Yes. And if our output wasn't busy, we should see this thing truck along. It doesn't take a lot to make a piece of plastic, but it takes some. And what we don't need, we're throwing away. We're venting into the atmosphere. So I don't know why this doesn't work more like you might think it would, but that's enough said about that. Because we're anxious, eager to make our operation over here work the way we want. Desperate, actually, to make this bouncing switch problem go away. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to get some copper sufficient to fix our problem. Put a needle on the record. One cutting machine, one aluminum constructor set to make copper cutting machines, one steel deconstructor set to destruct whatever you give it, and a stately copper arm to unload it, and as fast as we can, keep it loaded, and some power to make these things happen. If I can find it, I'll accept it. Sure. And then we just need to actually put the needle on the record. Boom. So it tears that thing apart and empties the pieces slowly. And you'll observe, to make a neutronium ingot requires 10 seconds. And carefully inspecting with a interface the state of the inventory in this machine, we will observe that it holds copper parts for about 20 seconds. So if we have just one circuit, 2 circuits, come on, I got enough for circuits. I just need 2 circuits. Boom, boom. A circuit, a constant of one thing, copper wire, one copper wire. And then another circuit. Well, it's right here. Did I whinge about? Oh, I did so much whinging in the episode that you're not watching about how sad I was about the state of things. And by that I mean that this won't run reliably. So here we're going to say if the number of copper parts compared to the number of, what do we pick? Copper wire, it can be anything. Where is it? Don't do this. The number of hard metal ingots. What? There. And then compare the number of the one to the number of the other. That is to say, if we have one in the hopper, or do we not have one in the hopper? And after a minute, that signal is going to change as we grind through this. Okay, so it's going to run. It's going to reset. Let the energy production heat back up, ready to make some, and then it'll start. And it'll run for 10 seconds and make a ingot. And then it'll run for 10 seconds and make an ingot. And then that thing will get deconstructed and that part will get stuck for a minute. And it'll do that over and over reliably forever. One constant input, one interface set to inventory, one circuit comparing the two values, and one controller to set the switch as we need it. And we're producing 4 red hot ingots per minute. So do the math against what we need and you'll determine when we'll get done with our task. It'll take a little while, but at least it's running reliably, which is the whole game. Got 11 of those. Throw some more parts in here. Make some more. Keep making them. And soon enough, boys, soon enough, we'll be making a portal. So we can start cranking on the superconductor wire. We'll need the first or the last 10 of those, and then we got to make 40 brains. 40 brains. So we're going to need 60, was it 40 or 50? The portal itself needs 40. And the technology needs 16. 56. Right, 56. 56 brains is 112 quantum circuits. Made an extra landing pad so I could bounce right to them. 112 of these mothers. We already have 5. And we already have 96. We already have all we need of those. So it's all about these ultimate catalyst cells. It's all about these. Come on, J, portal, brain, ultimate catalyst cells. Got enough to make a few. Can we hand make them? Can we make them by hand? We're holding those and we're holding those. Whatever, we don't need to make them by hand. That's not what this game's about at all, is it? A brain is made in a assembler. Like that one. Takes these to make these, along with a box that contains, put it right in front of the plug, that won't work. Along with a box, I said, oh boy, that contains the processors. We need to research the ability to make these. That's why we couldn't hand make them. That's why we can't automate them. In a minute, we'll be able to automate them. In a minute, we'll be able to automate them. And when they are created, they're going to go right here. Okay, meanwhile. Gold dust. Like, those look like ingots, don't they? No, it's dust. Gold dust and rare earth element becomes superconductor dust. Gold dust. In a mixer it was. Do we have a mixer? You see it there? Nope. In a mixer plus rare earth element. Boink. Boink. Oops. Into a mixer. Like that one. Come on. Like that one. Superconductor dust. Why didn't it grab that? Grab it. Just grab it. It's not gonna. Quantum brains, baby. Come on, Quasar. There, it grabs it. That splitter ain't gonna do jack squat if we put it there. And it's using these to restock our production of quantum chips, which I'm not sure we need any more of, but if not, it'll back up. And then when it successfully makes some of those, we're going to want to have some space to work. We're going to want to take that dust into a super smelter, which we have a bunch of for some reason. No, which we have the potential for a bunch of for some reason, which we have right here, super smelter. Let's get some going. Still got just enough wire, I think. So there needs to be an engine, of course. Engine, good engine. Yes. Purple engine. There, yes, yes. And then we want 4 heaters, furnaces. Like, not that one. Like these, we already had a bunch. Mm. 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 Definitely need some more wire now. Look at it, it's glowing and it's not killing us. It's doing its thing and it's not taking down the whole factory to do so. From here to here, and from here to there, and from here to there, and from here to there. Superconductor. Watch your every move. Superconductor. Name that group. Name that album. That will take care of that requirement. Except I think we need it to make it into wire, don't we? In a assembler. We'll be required to make a portal in an assembler. In an assembler. Like that one. Your job is to make wire and kick it out to a box. Are the victory conditions established? I think they are. There's the wire that we're going to need. And we have the reinforced concrete ready. We're working on those. I think we're ready to make some brains. I think we researched it and we can make some now. Brain. Make me a brain. Because we put them all in the box. That's why we can't make any in hand. And now it's all automated, so why not just use it? Brains. Oh, is it a constructor, not an assembler? No, it's an assembler. Even a crappy one. This is an assembler, so why am I not seeing it? I don't know why. There, it's doing it. It's doing it. And it doesn't have to do it very fast because our gating factor for the world record is janky neutronium production. How many of these do we have? We already moved them. What? Where did those go? Okay, so we need to put the and then we're going to make some, kick them over to here, and with those, it's going to become those. But where did it's probably in my inventory, isn't it? Ultimate Catalyst Cell plus some of these in hand. Nope. You can't make them by hand. You don't want to make them by hand. That's not cool. Just keep making those. Meanwhile, we should have a few plate in our box here. Yeah. How many do we need to make a portal? 40 and 100. Oh yeah. As promised. Whew, does this mean our next episode is going to be our last episode, viewer? I think maybe it does. I think everything's built and it's just a matter of the waiting now. And we've taken the waiting from a switch and a logic circuit that would be completely untenable to another one, another setup that says in our lifetime we will complete this. The speedrun record will be attempted and set, as far as I know. Of course, I haven't done any research to see if anybody else has ever tried. 12 brains. That is it. That is it. Later. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of the waiting now. We've got some superconductor wire coming along nicely. We've got brains coming in. We've got the neutronium metals we're going to need. Is there anything else? For a portal? Reinforced concrete, I'll have that in hand. Yeah, that's it. See you next time. See you for the last time.